Hello and welcome to a Cardboard Alchemy stream on this Friday, or whenever you're watching this. I'm Peter Vaughan with Cardboard Alchemy. We are talking about games. What are you playing? It's about to be a weekend here. It's the season is a fun season. We're in October now, so it's like we're kind of getting into. We'll have to see what Rosie, our comms manager, says when she comes on about whether or not this is the cozy time of the year. But I think this is the moment where, like, as far as when I was growing up, this is when the weather changed and you want to stay indoors and kind of like have these warm, toasty game nights at times. Hello, everybody. We've got different time zones because it's morning here, but good afternoon or good evening to everywhere around the world. Welcome. We've got different countries checking in. It's good to hear from all of you. Again, we do this weekly, and this is one of my favorite things of the week. I just love talking about games. I love connecting with all the folks that are playing our games. So thank you for being here or watching these or engaging with us on Discord or Facebook as well. We really appreciate it. And we love, like I said, we love to talk about games. So we can talk about Flamecraft. We can talk about Flamecraft Duels, which is coming soon. We can talk about Andromeda's Edge. We recently finished a campaign for Andromeda's Edge expansion, which is called Genesis. We can talk about Critter Kitchen. We can talk about Mission Catastrophe. We can talk about future games like Whisperwood. We're here to talk about not only the games we're making, not only behind the scenes, show you what's going on. We'll have some, as we make games around here, we like to share the process, but also we want to talk about what games you're playing, what you're excited about, what you're crowdfunding, because that is a big part of our company. And any questions you have. So we'll talk on a couple things, and then if you have any questions, feel free to ask them, and we'll get those answered. Good morning, says Anna. That's very nice to hear from you as well. So we have and that people are, like I said, from all around the world here. So I know that right now there's a convention in PAX Australia. I've never been to that one. Someday I got to get to that one. And I am going to a different convention in about 2 weeks, which is Essen, Spiel in Essen, Germany. So we're also going to talk about conventions because Cardboard Alchemy is hosting our very first. We're going to a convention and having our own booth for the first time as a company, which is a big deal. We've had our games with other booths before, but we're going to PAX Unplugged this year, and we have a ton of reveals and surprises coming up for PAX Unplugged. I am so excited for what we have coming up at PAX. It's ridiculous level because we're all excited about our first one, and we're doing promos and things and surprises and fun and all sorts of stuff. So we are looking forward to talking about conventions, talking about game nights. Let's see if Rosie's ready to come on. All right, here we go. Welcome.
Hello.
How's it going?
I have shared the link.
Is the cozy time of the year, or is it always cozy time of the year?
Oh my goodness, this is it. This is the time I live for. I hate summer with a passion. Can't even handle heat. I am very excited. Instantly, there are fake like lanyards and stuff all over my house. With garlands of leaves and things.
I know. It's
very nice. Yeah.
I know we're also going to Essen, and it varies from being early October to late October. One of the things I like about it being in later October is that sometimes you see like Christmas lights and markets start to already be like, hey, we're gonna start. It's like really
I got one of those this time last year and this time 2 years ago, my Essen pictures. I was like, whoa, this is throwing me through a loop. This is so weird that it was earlier. But yeah, it was very cool.
It is. It changes up. So
I'm excited.
What do we want to talk about first? I know we got a lot of people who are chiming in. Thank you, everybody, for saying hello.
Hello, everyone. We've got a few things to talk about. So just let's give an update of where we're at and what we're up to at Cardboard Alchemy.
Sure.
We are about to post an update for Duels about where containers are. It's a very thrilling subject.
This is this is the first we're really getting news, which I know people have said in our Discord. But literally Australia, that area, Aetherworks is our fulfillment partner in Australia. They could be shipping one today to somebody. There could be somebody in Sydney that receives Flamecraft Duel, or the expansion, Dragons and Dragons, or plush or art books today. That makes me like ridiculously excited because we crowdfunded and ended that campaign in May, and this is a first. That is the fastest turnaround time we've ever done as a company. I know that not everybody gets it today, but someone could get it in that short amount of time. That makes me that makes me very excited. Of course, I believe Anna's in New Zealand, so that's the same region of the. Now, there's about to be a bunch of excited people in Australia and New Zealand because they're first to get duels.
So how long did it take? Like, is there roughly an amount of time that it takes for the first one to arrive and the last one to arrive? Like, is it like 4 months, 5 months? Like, how does?
You mean worldwide?
Yeah, like I think it's such an interesting, like, there's this like ebb and flow of when things arrive.
I can use some past games as an example. Now, the tricky part about that is, I think, because of South Africa, Indonesia, Israel, and some other places, those can go a long time because they have to get in another boat. It's like boat to boat so
it goes on a really long journey.
Get enough games from us and other people to get on the boat for South Africa. It doesn't leave until it has enough games, so that takes time. So because of those factors, I would say, like, if you take a game like Flamecraft, where the very first, this was in 2022, the very first copy arrived to someone in Korea in August, and the very last copy was received around February to someone, right? So August, September, October, November, December, January. So 6 months from backer one to backer, from the end backer. That can, of course, speed up depending on if you overlap some systems. We have tried to engineer things like everyone get it at the same time. That never works because that just, it clogs up. We like, oh, let's stall this boat, and then all of a sudden you stall it, and then the boat you stall it to get on next has some gas like there's some problem where it doesn't go. It's not worth trying to do this engineering of that. Logistics and shipping are they're a game that I'm glad I don't play often. I say that
there's some things that companies do, like creating bundles and things that are like predetermined, makes it quicker to pack them.
We have strategies which we've developed over time. When we saw how long Flamecraft went to deliver the first time, we did something on Andromeda's Edge where the fulfillment partners still shout about this to, like, they want to do talks to other publishers about it. I feel very proud of the fact that we packed everything in one box that was ready to ship when it landed. So it was just like out the door. That was the Andromeda's Edge all in. You normally can't do something like that because people who crowdfund, and I'm including myself, want to get different things. Like, I want 2 plush, 1 sticker pack, 3 games. I mean, you just don't, no order is the same. But in the case of Andromeda's Edge, we had a very unique situation where pretty much everyone who came in wanted one of everything. I mean, basically we said, let's make it one big thing. And everyone said, yes, I'm on board. That made it super fast. So I think Andromeda's Edge was faster than usual.
For sure. Yeah. I think sometimes why, like, you'll see publishers pushing for you to get bundled. It's not about the money. It's really about, like, it's easier for us to ship.
In duels, for example, we actually did 2 bundles. We did one where you get the game Dragons and Dragons and a free Dragons of the Past. And part of that was not just to get people Dragons of the Past, which is all our past promos, and get everyone caught up and make that a great deal. But part of it was to say, if you do this and a whole bunch of people do this, this is going to go faster to you. Then we did a Horde bundle where we tried to say, hey, if you want 2 plush and an art book, we'll pack that together also, and we can make this so much faster if we do it. Now, does it mean that some folks backed and said, I want 1 extra plush from my friend? That's awesome. That does mean that the fulfillment center will have to stop for a second and figure yours out. But I'm not discouraging people from doing that. I'm just saying that we are constantly trying to make it more efficient for everybody, if we can.
It's always a growing and changing process. And every time we think we got it down, there's some like new tax or new thing.
There's always a little like quirky thing where because we do prizes and giveaways and fun things and unlocks and stretch goals and one-offs. And like when we were doing Genesis, we decided to pack a frog and a cube inside the box. And then we were like, but the future ones won't have the frog inside, the cube inside the box. And so we'll do this whole thing about, does the plant put them in the box? Do they come in separate boxes? Sometimes you get a Kickstarter and there's like 10 boxes because it's all separate products. But it's actually inefficient then to pack. It takes longer for the fulfillment center to do all this stuff. So it is a constant puzzle, one that we enjoy doing.
And we're now in that puzzle. This is where we're at. We are now at the point where containers are moving and some countries are ahead. Could just be because they're nearer China.
There is a little bit of a strategic advantage if you are right near the place where the game is made.
Exactly.
China is about...
Or if you're from somewhere with less orders because... Right. There's just less to get through.
Some people actually wonder, like, when Canada is about to arrive, I know we have some Canadians in the chat in our Discord, Canada is a smaller batch of orders, and their boat is arriving before the U.S. boat. So it's like they're just going to get theirs, and everyone in Canada is going to be like, I've been playing Duels for a couple of weeks. And the poor folks in the United States where I am are going to be like, where's my copy? It's one of those things where... If you were to do this at stores, you wouldn't notice the difference because it would all probably hit stores at the same time.
Yeah.
But when you do crowdfunding, it's sort of it's a fun, if that's the right word for it, discovery of different. It's like we've used this analogy many times. You're baking cookies and everyone's in the kitchen with you, and everyone's like, "Ooh, can you put that in for 10 more minutes?" Or "Can you do this?" Or "I want chocolate chips in mine. I don't want walnuts in mine."
Yeah.
But also somebody gets the first cookie and then another 12 people, get a cookie, and then the next 12 have to wait for a second because they're still coming. They're like, we got the next batch of cookies out. It's very fun. And yet stressful.
Yeah, Addie's got their shipping confirmation. I've been sent a few people who've had emails saying this is your last chance to change your address from Canada's distribution. So yeah, it's very exciting. It's very exciting. Yep. But yeah, that's the thing that's going on with Duels. And this is a really cool part, is that we can start to see people getting their games and they can play them.
This is somewhat the best part, because you make a game and there's so many highs about making the game, so many exciting points. But somebody else having it on their table and having fun with their family and getting that game night that you helped make possible, that's the best part. I'm beyond thrilled just to see that happen for people.
Yeah, absolutely. Very exciting.
I want someone to take Duels on an air-to-line tray table and have it be playable on an airplane. I want someone to take it to a park and go camping and have a couples night and have Duels there. I'm so excited by Duels.
Quirkleton, it's not in the UK yet, so we'll have to wait and see. My one is a special one that was flown over.
We did send Rosie an early copy so that she could do her unboxing.
You all need to know how to put it back in the box. It's really hard.
This one is the easiest one we've ever had. Like when you came on, you had to explain how to put Andromeda's Edge back in the box for people, and that was a doozy. And then you had to explain Critic Kitchen back in the box. This is going to be the easiest.
This is great. Love this.
There are two sides, and the bag holds all the tokens. So I don't think this is going to be hard in the slightest.
How long-winded can I make it? Let's find out.
Rosie said, like, I can't show punch board transitions. There's no punch board in Flamecraft.
Punch boards, yeah. Oh, I'll make it work. I mean, I to be honest, like, I always know about content and its purposes, and I love seeing that our unboxings and reboxings for Critic Kitchen Deluxe and Andromeda's Edge Deluxe have like 20,000 views, and that means that that it's useful and that people are, and we get lovely comments saying how useful and helpful they are, which is great. And I'm just pleased to add to assisting people in using it, because people do things in different ways. For example, there is a sheet and it explains how to put things in, and some people use that, and some people like to use a video. And there are some people who like to watch people do it very slowly, or normal speed, as others call it, and that's also fine. And there are plenty of those on the internet. People make those. So I think it's really exciting to see that. But with this one, people won't be watching it to figure out how to put it back in the box. People will be watching it just to see what it looks like. And I'm going to also put in there how to set up your first game, like, quick start.
That's great.
Just set up your game, because it's such a short video anyway. And like, I think the things that people will want to see from content, please let us know what you want to see for duels. Will be like fun combos of the fancies, like how to play solo. We do have some with the prototype, but we'll of course do some with the finished copy. And differences between standard and deluxe as well is also something that eventually we'll do, because some people later on want to know. So
you had a great video during the campaign, which was you playing solo mode on TikTok, and I really enjoyed watching like your strategy. We should definitely do some more of those, because there's Manny, the designer, has some strategies that I don't know if anyone's going to know these right off the bat. They're the kind of thing that they're advanced plays in the solo, which are really fun. When he said, "Oh, I would do this and this," I'm like, wow, I want to try that now, because we made a mode in solo where you can try to go for your best score.
Because there's a new thing in this that wasn't in the prototype for solo. There's a little card.
Right, a card that gives you an achievement list that you can like try and you're going to see the top achievement and say, or you might say, how does one get that score? But there's some secrets to pull that off.
I'm curious as well. I'm excited to try. I don't think I'm that good yet.
And by the way, in the deluxe, all these cards are plastic, which is resistant to any damage.
It also tells you how to play. It's just like,
it's a really quick guide to solo with an achievement list on the back.
It's very cute.
Fun names for Manny for each of the titles that you get.
Yeah, I love that. But yeah, I think I'll be focusing on little short videos for whatever people are looking for, to help them, get started. And some strategy stuff from Manny and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, really exciting.
Hey, thanks to the Discord for all suggesting these things. It's interesting because we have a great Flamecraft solo channel. I want to make one specifically for duels. The community is fantastic in this regard, basically saying, here's what I'd love to see. The same thing happened on Critter Kitchen, which actually inspired Peter C. Hayward to come up with a new, because we had not done solo for the expansion, been coming up with more powers. And it's really great to see all of the solo playing that's happening, because people are having fun. I actually I don't play solo games, but there's a game that's come out recently that actually is inspiring me to do so. Two angles to this. I like heavy games, so I want to play I want to deep dive into certain games like Vantage and like play them and go deep. But I also have been playing A Place for All My Books with people, and that one I also kind of want to do solo. Impy was talking about playing it solo in our Discord, and I was like, I could see getting my best score in that game being fun. So
I'm intrigued about that one as well. So yeah, my copy of that will eventually arrive, and then I'll get to.
Oh yeah.
Though it's been named #1 Barnes and Noble's Game of the Year or something.
Barnes and Noble named A Place for All My Books the Game of the Year. And so for those who don't know, the connection is that Alex Cutler, who is the co-designer of Critter Kitchen, is also the co-designer of A Place for All My Books. So we're really excited for Alex and for that game to go.
It's very cool. It's very cool. Here's to duels being #1 game.
Yeah.
I think the thing about A Place for My Books is it is a bookish board game, so it couldn't be more perfect for a bookseller who also sells board games.
I totally agree. They obviously should love that book. I did hear, I don't know how much I can say publicly. I did hear that, at first they, the orders are not guaranteed, right? Because I will tell you from facts that Barnes & Noble did pass originally on Letter Tycoon, for example, which is a word game and feels totally fitting. It's also kind of a fancy word game, and to me it felt like the perfect game for their store, but they passed on that game when it first came out.
Yeah.
And, that's their call. I love the fact that Barnes & Noble in particular is expanding in sort of their game. Nowadays, I think Ladder Tycoon would get in no problem. I think now they have much bigger catalogs. Flamecraft is in Barnes & Noble and Critter Kitchen's in Barnes & Noble. And I sometimes wonder if Andromeda's Edge shouldn't make it in also, because they do have they have heavier games there now.
Yeah. Like, so our version over here would be Waterstones, and the flagship stores, there's about 4 of them, have board game sections. And a couple of years ago, I went and checked out their new little section they'd taken over in the sort of fantasy books area. And it was like full of games. I was like, oh, this is great. And I recently went, and it's double the size.
Yeah.
I went around, and there's this thing that I posted on my stories saying I couldn't resist helping people who looked lost.
Yes.
And I ended up helping about 5 people, and then I got a phone call from Doug going, "We're going now." We need to leave. Does anyone find that they end up recommending games in board game shops and bookstores and stuff? But I ended up always recommending games that are like, I think Flip 7 got mentioned a few times because they needed a game for a lot of people that was easy to teach. Saboteur was mentioned. A lot of games. And then I was like, also Telestrations and Scrawl, hilarious. Wavelength. A lot of games that I would play with groups, because most of the time it's parties and big families that are looking in shops like that. But it's cool to see these new gamers. Maybe new gamers. They're like fresh.
Right. It reminds me of when I used to go to a game store a long time ago. I would stare at the back of the box, and I would try and imagine if like the things it was saying you do were things I wanted to do, and then being like, maybe this one. And this was before I could search on BGG, but I could see if someone's in like a Target or a Barnes and Noble and they pick up a back of the box, and then I lean over and go, "That's a really good game." They're like relieved because they can go, "Oh, is it? Because I don't know." And I'm trying to figure out if I should get this and spend $40 or not.
It's why the back of the box is so important. And it's one of the things we've done with Duels that some people may not realize is we wanted to make sure that your game still had this like beautiful look all around. So we have this sheet of paper so that people in shops
for stores.
Yeah. But stores, they can like figure out what they want, and then you're like, "Oh, cool! I don't need that."
I'm so excited that we actually have the what happens when you don't need it anymore. Also,
yeah,
then it's just a fountain, and you get to enjoy Sandar's artwork and not all the marketing language and UPCs and stuff.
Yeah, recycle. But like I think a lot of games have to use the sides of their box on the inside to advertise future games and stuff. But with a travel game, you want it to be beautiful from all angles.
I don't know if we've mentioned what you just showed. You had a small piece of paper. I don't know if everyone knows this. We might have mentioned in the last stream, but you get a little coupon for a discount off of Flamecraft Digital in every copy of Duels and every copy of Dragons and Dragons. You'll have a coupon. So actually, if you're getting both games, you're going to have 2 coupons. You can give one to a friend.
Yeah. I'm hiding my code. You can't have this, guys.
Yeah, I was going to say, if we keep showing the codes, people will redeem the code. But it's like 30% off when the game comes out on Steam at some point.
It's really exciting. Yeah. But yeah, it's the first time we've done any like leaflets.
Yeah, we haven't had things in our boxes before, but it's been kind of fun. And the reverse side is a links UPC QR codes to some of our other things, because you might be getting Duels and you don't have the original Flamecraft, or you didn't get the expansion, or you didn't get Critter Kitchen, so we decided to put something in there.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's exciting. Other things we're up to. Where are we at on Genesis? Are we now in the sort of file stage? Is that kind of where we are? Which is always a fun, like, no one knows what's going on. Like from outside, they're doing files.
There's actually let's break down Genesis in a couple of different fun phases. One of them is we want to get late pledge open, because there are people knocking on the door, saying, "Hello, can I come in also?" And we're like, yes, let's do that. There's another stage after that, which is Pledge Manager, which requires us to get all sorts of shipping numbers figured out and get everyone a chance to check out with, if you know what you want to get done, or you want to add something. That's the Pledge Manager. So we're preparing both of those, probably late pledge first, Pledge Manager second, and then the file making part is also beginning. Luke's been really working on the rules and the appendix changes, and we're kind of gathering. We're working on minis, because the frog's got to have a base, and all sorts of things are in progress. But this is like the car hood is open. So a lot of people were like, hey, are you going to show it at Essen? And it's like, well, the car hood is open. We're kind of like, mechanics are getting in there right now.
So we're not showing it?
Well, we have a prototype. We have a prototype with us. And actually, Luke, because he is going to Essen, on his own decided to just run games of Andromeda's Edge in the mornings at Essen, just because he felt like doing it. We weren't going to show anything, and then he decided, I'm gonna play. I will be happy to run it for people.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really nice of him to do. But then the other phase of Genesis, which is really exciting, but it's more of a, it's sort of even further behind the scenes, is that we're also talking to other countries and partners in other countries for translating. Now, Andromeda's Edge is in 11 languages currently, but yet we're working on language number 12 and number 13. We're trying to get Andromeda's Edge everywhere. It's part of our mission at Essen is to actually talk to face-to-face time with some of these other countries, some partners, to see.
I get a lot of messages from reviewers in Holland and all these different places who are like, please, can we have it? And I'm like, I will let them know. But if you find someone over there that wants to do it, like,
Yeah. Also, Andromeda's Edge is in a really unique spot now where the second printing of the game is now hitting stores. Second edition, we announced this on the campaign that second edition has a couple of changes, and that the campaign would allow people to buy the cards if they want to get those changes. But it's sort of so we're seeing all these new copies come in. New people are posting in our Facebook group like, I just cracked open Andromeda's Edge for the first time. What do I do? How do I do X, Y, and Z? We're seeing questions in our Discord, which is like another really fun wave of BGG chat, and people are playing and experiencing it for the first time and finding out that it's addictive and awesome. And there's now there's currently 18 factions to play. There's gonna be 21. So there's a lot you can find out.
Never enough.
I was thinking we got to get some more 2v2 games going on Discord. And also, I just had another meeting with the developer who's working on our board game arena version of Andromeda's Edge, which a lot of people are telling me is like changing the whole ball game for them getting a chance to play the game, because they're like, oh, I'm doing something and I could take a couple turns on my phone and then go do the thing and then take a couple turns on my phone. I could not do that with TTS or a physical copy. I couldn't get a couple turns in. So all of a sudden there's people who get to play Andromeda's Edge every day who did not get to play Genesis. Now it's not in beta yet. So it's the people who have access are people who joined alpha with us. But we are working on getting it in beta within a month or so that anyone could come in and play Andromeda's Edge on BGA, which will be really exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your questions. I am saving them and we'll do it at the end. Keep them coming in. You mentioned Essen, so it might be good to segue into a conversation around conventions. I'm curious how you prepare for a convention as publisher or muggle. Like, how do you do it if you're just going to enjoy an event versus like mentally how are you dealing with it as a publisher?
It's an interesting thing because as you say that, I have actually never attended. For example, we take Gen Con, which is a very big trade show. It's big for publishers. I've never attended Gen Con as an attendee. I've only attended Gen Con as a publisher. And Gen Con stresses me out. It's exhausting. It's where it usually kills my voice. It usually disrupts like 2 weeks of time. It's usually a very stressful prepare. So I actually don't know what Gen Con feels like when you don't have all that to do. I'm sure it is just as busy for a lot of people because people have packed schedules. You want to go to True Dungeon, you want to do this and stuff. You want to get open gaming. You want to meet up with friends. It's not like there's not a busy time. But I will say that since we've been planning for PAX Unplugged to be our first booth, it's been months of planning, and we're going to get crunchier and crunchier to the point where I'm actually flying days and days before the show to secure packages, to get trucks coming in, to start the booth design and the prep and the things and the receiving and the packaging, and there's point of sale systems, and there's so much. Now, if you go to Essen, just to talk about Essen, Essen we are doing not with a booth. So I think it's almost not the same thing at all. It's
But there's still meetings, there's still meals, there's still things that set you apart from a regular punter.
Well, it is. I will say that you have to look at conventions like a I was just having this conversation with Brad actually, because we're talking about what is our company policy when we go to shows. For example, you and I and Nicole and Luke are all going to Essen from our team. So we have 4 people going. Nicole and I have meetings probably every hour of every day.
What?
Yes. We are packed. We're packed, Rosie.
Oh, that sounds rough. You have to walk from one to another, right?
Nicole has left proper time to walk to each one. But
I mean, if it's Nicole, she's mapped it out.
But it's going to feel like if I wanted to be that person that just ran to a booth to buy a game and got to demo a game, I'm not going to get to be that person at Essen.
Yeah.
We're also trying to, I mentioned this is another like behind the scenes type of thing, but we end up talking to other publishers and say, what do you do? How do you handle demo teams? And how do you handle staff? One of the things that Cardboard Alchemy is trying with our whole, going to booth at shows is that we're trying to give everyone who helps us out at our booth half days. Now, that could be, I could come back in a year or two and say that was a terrible idea. But I really am excited by that because I've gone to a show, I've worked a booth the entire time, and I feel like I haven't been at that show. I feel like I've seen nothing from that show. And that feels a little sad to me. So I'm really excited about the half day thing because I think that people will get a chance to share Flamecraft or Flamecraft Duels or Andromeda's Edge or Critter Kitchen and then see something else. Go somewhere else and have a bite with a friend and see another game and get inspired and come back and say, hey, I got an idea for the next game or something. I think that's healthier to have that walk around time because I will tell you, just to your topic, I think there is something about over planning. I have learned this lesson and I know I'm failing it already on this Essen, which is that you shouldn't pack your schedule fully because that leaves organic room for the most random but most beneficial conversation of your life or some really cool moment to happen. You shouldn't pack it too much. That's my definite advice that I'm not following whatsoever.
I as someone that reviews games in my spare time, I have a lot of publishers email and say, hey, let's have a meeting. And my first ever UK Games Expo as Cozy Board Games, I packed them all in thinking, this is what you do. Sure, I'll have these meetings, and learned very quickly that I hated it. I hated running around and having this sort of constant nagging feeling of I was late for something.
I'm missing something. Yeah, it doesn't feel good.
So I have, for Essen this time, I have 3 meetings. That's it. And there were people that I, like, one of them is Horrible Guild. You know how I feel about Horrible Guild. They did Railroading. So I'm like, finally, yes, I will talk to you about, let's play Railroading. Because I've said to them, like, let's just play. And then I have one demo in, and that is of Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, the trick-taking game. And I am so excited to play that. Other than that, though, I am just, gonna wing it. I'm gonna wander around. I'll have the app. I'll have some things start that I want to go to. But I'm trying my best to just go with the flow and see what I discover.
When Rosie and I come back, it's going to be, Rosie, how was your show? And you're going to be like, oh my God, it was so good. Peter, how was yours? I'm like, I'm worn out. So we'll see what happens. I'm very excited to go though.
We'll see what happens. Yeah. I mean, I have got some meetings with the team stuff as well. Because lots of stuff for future events get planned there as well. It's a very networky event, and I'm sure we'll have lots of networking chats with people, but they happen organically, as you said. It's sort of, you meet people in the industry, you have a chat, you say, do you want to go for a coffee? And those things are great. So Libby's here, who works for Paverson, as well as being a reviewer. Most of our team have at least 3 hours of exploring each day scheduled. So Libby will be working the event. Even I think over her husband Julian is actually also helping on Paverson. So they'll have a different experience as well. They'll be boothing, they'll be running around. They probably have more meetings than I do.
Let me tell you, I can summarize the importance of having a free moment in your schedule with this one story. Okay. Last year's Essen, I was packed
Yeah.
except for one morning for 1 hour. And in that 1 hour, the idea for duels happened. That's what happened when I let go and I met someone and talked to someone and a thing happened and a conversation and all of a
Yeah.
sudden and Cardboard Alchemy, which was not going to make Flamecraft duels whatsoever, in that moment decided to make Flamecraft duels. It was in that spark of an hour where I went somewhere else and
Yeah.
talked to a different person. It's amazing. And I don't want to ever forget how cool that can be, right?
Yeah.
Conventions are amazing. That's those sparks you can't plan for ever. So
No, exactly. Yeah. It's I'm really excited about Nicole's perspective of this event as well, because she isn't as board gamey as us. Like
sure.
she has a different
There's no
perspective of it.
missing out on a demo, right? There isn't any interest in that. So I think that that's a fresh perspective also.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fascinating.
Yeah.
And obviously Luke's going, and Luke is,
Luke is the other way.
he's
Luke
been once and he's going to be like, now I know what I'm doing. Yeah, he loved it last year.
Here's an interesting thing about SN in particular as it relates to other shows. Designers are a little bit more revered at SN. Designers are more in demand, and there's signing hours, and there's kind of like this awe of meeting a designer, one of your favorite designers.
Yeah.
And Luke is that for some people, and I think that he's going to find out that he found that out last year.
Yeah.
At Essen, he has a more special place. Some shows are kind of like, yeah, you're a designer. Nah, I don't care.
Yeah.
And Essen is like, I love meeting. I actually met one of Luke's favorite designers, Concordia. Mac Ertz like has a booth, and I met Mac, and I was like, "Could you sign this for Luke?" And it was like a really neat moment, to kind of interact with someone who made such a great game. And I love that about us, and that they, there's all the there's all the famous folks there, right?
There's a reviewers meetup, but I've not agreed to do it because I don't know when it is and I can't remember. Like Rado is currently on a 2-week trip from Ireland through Germany, with his wife for Essen.
And that's another thing, is I actually met Rado for the first time at Essen, because his has sells jewelry and other things, and would have a stall at Essen, and that's how I first.
I met him and Jen at UK Games Expo when they sold there once, and I got a little dinosaur meeple for Doug, and I got this really quick photo with him, and then I saw him at UK Games Expo last year, which would have been like 7 years later. And it was and then when I told him I worked for Cardboard Alchemy, he was like, "What? I love Cardboard Alchemy." He was so sweet. So I hopefully bump into him again this time, fingers crossed. Quirkleton has asked, do you know if you'll go to UK Games Expo next year? Is that something we've said? I don't know.
It's not said yet, but we would love to go to UK Games Expo, and we're looking into said thing. I love that show. I will say that for sure. I've been twice. I would love to keep going to that show, because it's really one of the up and coming shows to me, growing and growing. Of course, there's like 2 ways that could go. They could grow, and then could be some pain with how they grow. But I really think that show's got the great spirit.
Yeah,
I think it's one of the best shows out there. So
yeah, let us know what you want us to do there. Like, do you want a tournament? Do you want like a booth full of stuff and things? Like, what kind of stuff do you love to see at UK Games Expo, and what do you want us? Because we've never brought like a booth to the UK, so it'd be interesting to see.
We haven't even brought a booth to the USA yet. This is our first one. Exciting.
I know. It's very exciting. But yeah, so I'll get in some of these questions so we don't miss them. And the people are asking about lots of different events. At the moment, we really just have PAX like properly locked in.
So the interesting thing about Origins, and I love Origins. Love it. In fact, I went there, and that's how I exposed Dwellings of Elderville for the first time. We had an amazing event for Dwellings that people still come up to me to this day and say that was the best time I ever had at a show. I think Origins is one of those shows that gives a lot of great conversations with publishers. Like if you're a designer, that's the best show to go talk to a publisher. Origins has good food, it has good meetups. But here's the problem with Origins for us right now is that it is just not in the right cycle of time for sort of our game demos. Now that's, as a crowdfunder, that's not always the case. We may have a game that's crowdfunding right after Origins, in which case Origins would be the best show for us to do. So we're looking at that as we go forward, as we start to do more games and we start to do more shows. Is Origins going to come in the picture? I don't know, but I do love that show.
No, it's I'm fascinated by all these different American events. We have a few over here that are all different scales and sizes, and Gen Con's obviously massive.
Origins is like the size of UK Games Expo, I believe.
Oh, okay, so massive.
It's a big show. It's dwarfed a little bit by Gen Con, which is a bigger show.
Yeah, I mean, Essen is 160,000 people.
Yeah.
And UK Games Expo is about 60,000-70,000 people. So, yeah. But it's growing very fast.
I think Origins might be falling a little bit lower than that now, but it was it was the same size as UK Games Expo. I don't know if it is anymore.
Let me get through some of these questions. People are saying they want like tournaments, demos of Flamebound. Don't even know what that is.
Is there a game coming? Yes, there is.
Also, Rodney asked, will there be any copies of Duels in your web store? Well, once we've finished fulfillment, any remaining stock goes into our web store. That's how we do things.
That is how we used to go.
Oh, well, that's how we used to do things.
We are talking about the possibility of putting there's a couple things about Duels. First of all, we are getting copies to backers ASAP. Second of all, as a company, we do need to bring it to shows we're going to. So we're planning to bring Duels to PAX Unplugged. That will be in the middle of fulfillment, I believe. Then we know that that'll create a buzz. People are going to be like, I need Duels. I missed Duels. How can I get Duels? And one of the things about putting it in our web store like months later is that I think we missed some people who might have said, hey, I know I'd have to wait, but I will pre-order it now. So we're considering a pre-order once we get to PAX and once deliveries have started for every region for backers. We're considering a pre-order, which, as Rosie just said, would not deliver until all backers get it and all late pledges get it, but would deliver right after that. So yeah, stay tuned on Duels. We hear you. There's actually a lot of interest in Duels, and we want to get it we want to get it to people as soon as possible.
Yep. Sean asked, are we getting the Dice Tower Dragons 2 put in the shops too? I think he's talking about the Dice Tower like artisan dragons.
So there are 6 dragons that were produced for the Dice Tower, which were called Dice Tower Artisan Dragons. And now those 6 dragons have been renamed and are called Fresh Scale Dragons, and they've been put into this pack, the Dragons of the Past, which is every single promo that we've ever done. It's not exactly the same as a little bread dragon called Tom, but it's a little bread dragon called Cutie Pie instead.
Which is Tom's nickname. So
people call him that all the time, I'm sure. So
just yell it at Essen and he'll come running.
So what's happened is those artisans are now in this pack. This pack was in the campaign. This pack will be on our web store when we do, and in our pre-order when we do get those things.
There's another question I'll do at the end because it relates to another topic. Checking. Impy said, when you're stressed at Spiel, there's a free exit directly into a neighboring Gruger Park, which is lovely to chill and decompress for a few minutes before going. And apparently has a like tiny train, like a miniature railway.
Nice.
I don't know where this is. I need a map. Like draw me a map because I'm fast. I did not see that when I was there. I saw a sad little courtyard where people sat on the floor outside eating food because there was nowhere to sit. And that was me eating a sausage sat on the floor. So definitely want to know where that is. That's awesome. Okay, yeah, I will do this one then. You've been starting some game nights up, which you've been doing with your friends and fancy people from the industry, living it up. Like,
it's been
and
fun.
you've been asked if you've played Luthier. Luthier? Libby, let me know. Is it A, Luthier, or B, Luthier? Because everyone says it one or the other, and I want to know officially.
Now,
you know.
I have a friend that backs everything, right? And I think I missed that game because I'm a fool. I think I was crowdfunding something at the time, and I really want that game. So let me say how much I'm going to be going to get a copy of that game as soon as I am able to get a copy of the game. So if that friend of mine that backs everything, we had a game night. We had just finished like 2 or 3 games. It was literally like midnight or 1, and he brings out Luthier and shows me the trays and shows me the bits, and I was like, how dare you? I want to play this right now, but it's so late and I'm gonna fall asleep if I play another one right now. But I wanted to play it so bad, and I saw the game, the trays in there are I believe it's actually Black Magic that made them, and there's one that is like a violin. I mean, it's beautiful. So I'm
gonna guess that US is Luthier and European is Luthier.
I want to say it the way the company wants me to say it.
Yeah, come on, let me pick one.
I love that. Gorgeous. I am a huge fan of Distilled. I think Distilled is one of the best games produced. I think it's a fantastic game to play. I will support Patterson Games in everything they're doing, because I think that there's an artisan quality when you see a game made to that level. You just trust that they are going to treat games at the utmost level. That is where I am at. I love to treat games at the utmost level. So I'm backing everything. I need to get Luthier immediately is what I need to do.
And so what else have you been playing on your special game nights that I'm not invited to?
You are invited. It just would be a long journey. And
I'd be really late.
So what I've decided to do with Cardboard Alchemy, because we do have a lot of, first of all, we play our games a lot, and that usually takes up most of our time, but I end up getting a lot of, because I do back a lot of things, I end up getting a lot of games that I have not put to the table yet, and I need to explore, because there's sometimes as a publisher, things, mechanisms, components, art styles, techniques that I want to see, because I want to elevate our games to the next level. For example, somebody showed me Sweetland. I did not play it yet, but it had these component upgrades that I like a lot and might want to try.
It looks really cute. I think it's by an Asian publisher. I've seen a lot of ads for it, and it was very appealing to me. The little blobby characters, and it was very cute.
So on my list to play are some big ones like Iridia and Vantage, but what I did get to the table recently, I'll just list them, and if you want to talk about any one of them, Rosie, or someone wants to ask about them, I played Obsession, which I loved. It was a huge game. I played Middle Ages twice. I played Castle Combo twice or 3 times. I played Endeavor Deep Sea once. I did not play Creature Caravan, but I read the rules and taught it to a group and let them play it. And then I played Point City once, I played Innovation once, and I played A Place for All My Books like 2 more times with people.
Nice.
Out of all those,
in one day, that's amazing.
No, this is over a couple days, but what would you pick out of that if you were to play one of the ones in the pile that I just finished?
Creature Caravan's been on my list for a really long time. I'm a huge Red Raven Games fan. One of my highlights from Essen was Ryan Lackett was doing signings, so I bought Now or Never. The irony is there, buying a game called Now or Never. It's time. Buy it, and then he drew a picture inside the lid of me, and he was very sweet. And I also met his lovely wife, who does a lot does like half the work on that. And they're a dream team. And I'm going to be getting one of these 10 by 10 meeple things by Vegas Games. They do like 3D printed bits and pieces, and they have like ghosty ones. And my 10 by 10 is based on games that I would like to find time to play. And so I have a literal like Ryan Laukert section, because I never find time to play them.
That I heard about Creature Caravan, but I don't know where I heard it. And I don't even know if I heard it by Ryan himself on TikTok saying this or in an interview. But I have heard that he thinks it's his best game. But I cannot remember where I heard that. So I need to find out if that is in fact true. But I've wanted to try it, and because I heard that, I was also like, I'm very curious about this game. Now,
What do you think is their best game based on what you've played?
that's a really tough call because he keeps evolving all of his techniques. Now, I will say, like, so that theory would be that Sleeping Gods or something would be like the evolution of all of his techniques into one game. But here's one of the things I noticed about Creature Caravan that I love is that Creature Caravan kind of puts all the characters I've ever seen in one of his games into a deck of cards. Like all the animals and creatures and ideas and
robots, cats,
dogs and robots and this, that, and the other, and all sorts of
lizard men.
It's so good because every card's a unique, really wonderful person. And if that's true, that like every piece of art that's ever been done is in that game, then I could see how Creature Caravan would be ranking up there because you get to enjoy all the past art. That'd be like if we don't do this, but if we made a game where it was like Kitchen and Flamecraft characters and Andromeda's Edge people, because we don't have as character driven, like he has character driven, the captain and Sleeping God, which, the frog people, the different races that he's been doing for a long time. So Creature Caravan's gorgeous. Here's what I don't know what I think about it because I did not play. So I taught 3 people and then they played. It's simultaneous play.
Awesome.
Which is amazing.
Yes, love that.
But you don't interact with anyone else.
I'm fine with that.
But it's fascinating that it's literally, we talk sometimes about games being like solitaire, like you're playing your multiplayer solitaire. This is literally the best case I could ever see for multiplayer solitaire because you don't get anyone's way. There is a market which does create like some, I need to get on that same as you, but there is no conflict for you camping or moving in the same space as someone. Yeah, the only interaction is for Market Spot. So the people who were playing were like, I literally am playing my own game with some people playing a game next to me. And I was like, I don't know if I can't wait to play it. But
it's some of my favorite games are roll and writes where I never talk to people about the game. I'm having a chat while I'm playing the game. But I was talking to Doug about this, and I really like games where the interaction is being with them while they also solve the puzzle. I don't have to interact with them in the game. I'm interacting with them right there. So I think Everdell and games like that often get critiqued and, lauded for that, both for the same reason, in that like there's not enough interaction or, but I'm also like, I don't mind. It doesn't bother me. If I'm having a chill evening, I don't need to like be fighting 4 things in my brain. I just want to do the puzzle and see who does it best.
Sure.
So that's you're selling it even more. That's where I'm going at Essen to finally buy this game.
So let me tell you this. I actually don't mind that at all. And I think I want to play it. I'm glad I bought it and everything like that. Let me just see if this is like, if someone else has a Toad character and they go to that Toad and they say like, I'm going to give you this die and you make some bread for me. And then I'm going to pay a coin and you make something else for me. And then I'm going to go talk to this robot. And then the robot and I are going to go fight a zombie or whatever we're going to do. I kind of like hearing like what you do on your turn and finding out what you did in the character you played. And if we're just playing solitaire, like I literally am executing.
You don't know what they did. Yeah.
And I don't even know if you have a robot. And I kind of think, and I know the game would go longer. I know that I don't need to know that you have a robot and the robot, fetched you 2 bread or did this thing or whatever. But I kind of like that part.
Yeah, maybe it's you can simultaneously still say what you did while you're doing it because you'll see it happen. It depends on how complex what you're doing is as to whether you can communicate. Oh, I'm going to go here. Or I'm going to go here.
Sure. But it's all simultaneous. It's reminding me a little bit. We're having this conversation about Whisperwood, which we're making in house, and Whisperwood is a lot of you don't need to go. You don't mess with the other druid. You are casting your own runes and talking to animals and talking to golems, but you do execute your turn in turn order. So you can say things like I go and talk to the water golem and I cast a spell. And then the table finds out, oh, that was cool. I'm going to go cast a spell now. And I don't know if that's missing. So I can't wait to play Creature Caravan and find out if I think it's missing or not.
Yeah, Devil's Treasure mentions Above and Below, and yeah, Above and Below is one of my absolute favorites. Got me into gaming.
Did you know you saw there's an Above and Below Haunted, right?
I have it, and I've unboxed it, and I'm it's very cute.
It's the perfect season for this.
It's so perfect. Yeah. I know, and I'm working personally on my list of games and getting it down to actually playing the games. I bought it, I backed it. There was no question where I wouldn't back it. Yeah. So I'm trying to get the list of games I have to play down to games I just bought and want to play. I've got so many sealed that aren't played. But yeah, very excited. I played. Well, I'll do a quick crowdfunding shout out before we close out. I got a little picture. I haven't gone through my pictures yet. Let's make sure we do that.
This looks cute.
So these two games are Fetching Feathers and Dot stands for Difference Over Time. Huh. And it really reminds me of the Angry Birds pigs. I don't know why. It wasn't intentional, but it's giving pigs. So Fetching Feathers these are both from Unfringed Things, Chris Prescott, who is the designer of Zuli, which is also Moving Wild from Oink Games.
Oh, cool.
And he also did a really lovely flip and write game called Molehill Meadows, which is super cute. And you can actually get all of those games on this campaign. He's doing like a really good deal, like £45 for like all 4 of his games. And yeah, so Fetching Feathers is a constantly changing sanctuaries. Like you put the bird down and then season will change and you've got to move them all around. And it's birds. The birds want things, and you have to make those things happen for them. Otherwise, you don't get to keep them. I like that some are like, I'm solitary at this time of the year, but I like to be with other ones at this time of the year. Huh. So it's really cool, and they're all wearing hats because, of course. Right. And I got to use the word "behatted" in my review, so it makes me happy. And Dot is a 2-player game about trying to be the one with the biggest difference, and you're adding cards into the pool in the middle. You've got your own cards in front of you, but you don't know what the other players put out, and then you see if you had the biggest difference. But the next round, you have to have the closest, like the least difference. And it's really little, like it's very cute, and it's going to have little tokens. I call them pigs, but they're not pigs.
I mean, they do. Other than the red one, which is like Frankenstein to me, the other ones are pigs.
But it's really cute, and definitely check it out. This designer does everything on his own, and he's there's even a cool like a dinosaur promo for Fetching Feathers, because as we all know, birds are dinosaurs.
My most stressful part about Essen is that there's going to be so many people with like one-off, like really cool, interesting boutique games in corners of Essen that I gotta find. I need to like really do some research here.
Yeah,
this is a crowdfunding example, but I'm saying there's cute games all the time in different places.
Yeah. Well, he did a really interesting thing where he made a really short run and sold it at UK Games Expo. So he made like 70 copies. Which he was like, I've never done it before. I'm going to try it and see what happens and see if that sort of spreads the word and stuff. But yeah, it was very cool, and it's on Kickstarter. It's launched yesterday, so you can go check it out. And it also mentions all of his other games, and it is really hard to get hold of some of those now because, as you know, with small publishers, you don't always get the distribution.
Yeah, when it's out, it's out.
But Molehill Meadows is really lovely. Honestly, it's charming. It's got lots of moles in different poses.
Seasonal, thanks for coming on, by the way. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And let me share some of the things that have been happening on our socials.
Rosie has a good we have a fun time on Facebook finding what folks are saying about our games.
Yeah, so sometimes it's a quiet week. I get it. We all have busy lives, but if you want to be featured, you probably would if you did something in Critter Kitchen. But I've got a couple this week, not loads, but I love Mark Dandridge, full stop. But also he found this little clip from a look back Dice Tower video where Tom looks back. What did you say? It was like 50 years? How many years?
There's a 20 years ago today.
20 years ago today.
Starts that off.
Is that him? Like on the right hand? Is that him 20 years ago?
That's the 20.
So he also doesn't age. This is scary. Okay, he's a vampire. Good to know.
Because it's 1 year ago today that he looked at it.
Yeah, and he's raised his numbers from
Yeah, he has his rating from before, and if it goes up or down, he notes it. And Andromeda's Edge has gone up.
It's
It's
awesome.
better. It's even better now.
It's really exciting. But yeah, so also Port Royale getting a shout out. What a game! What an old game! Oh, beautiful! Love that game.
I can go back in that video and see what he's up and down on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's a fun watch. So everyone go check it out. But yeah, Mark spotted that.
Yeah.
Also, Luke shared. Oh, that's me, Rosie Pocket. So Luke has made playlists for Andromeda's Edge Genesis, and he's put it on 3 different places. And you can find the BGG link in the Andromeda's Edge forums and all that. He's put it all there. But I put it on Spotify because in case people wanted it there.
I'm glad it's on Spotify now because I want to listen to it when I'm playing some Andromeda.
It's really good. If any of you can guess, there's some Interstellar. There's some Genesis.
I do like how Luke focuses not just on any genre of music, but on the words being spoken, the title of the song, so that yes, there is Genesis in there because it's got to have some Genesis in there.
Yeah, so I mean, what's really exciting is, for Flamecraft, we're gonna have some music soon. The digital version is gonna have a soundtrack.
Ooh.
It's going to be available, like to play. I assume. Again, these are all things we're just guessing because we're not actually making it. Monster Couch are making it, but there will be a soundtrack like they did for Wingspan and like they did for Calico. So it's very exciting, and I've heard some of it, and it's charming. It's absolutely charming. You can hear it on their Instagram posts, Monster Couch. You can hear a bit of it there too. So it's really lovely. So I'm very excited to just play that on repeat.
By the way, saying Andromeda's Edge is so good.
Hey.
Yeah, we don't do soundtracks per se. We let the community decide what you want to listen to, but I love hearing what people are listening to when they play Critter Kitchen, which is that frantic kitchen music. I don't know what that is.
It's Ratatouille all the way.
The soundtrack to Ratatouille or the Disney movie that I can't remember at the moment.
Wait, there's another one. Is it not Ratatouille?
Yeah, Zootopia and between.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
The mode, but like Flamecraft is a question mark because it's kind of a medieval town, and then you kind of what's the right shopping at a small fair kind of music? What is that music? Right?
There's a YouTube channel called Ambient Worlds which does Lord of the Rings and different themes and stuff, but when we put it on, it's always like the bit from The Hobbit, like not The Hobbit, but the Hobbity bit and it's always like the cute little whatever, and then it's got Gandalf going in the background, but it's for hours and it's the same bit, and I'm like, would love a little change, but yeah, I'm excited to have our own music. It's very exciting. And then I'm just gonna share this very cute Elizabeth's plush have more clothes than me, this rate, I think. And look at this adorable kimono. It's very cute.
Bao is gone on a journey around the world.
Yeah. Why do I think when she gets the backpack, she's going to deconstruct it and build multiple backpacks? Because if you deconstruct things, you can make patterns. So I'm just curious if she's going to like make a range of backpacks. So exciting.
An adventure that these dragons have already been on.
And you can see how loved that bow is.
Yeah, I know. We probably need to help Elizabeth get another.
But you can't. Like that's her dragon.
I know, but Bao can introduce a friend so that there's a fresh face.
A cleaner, nicer version is definitely the like villain story in Toy Story. Who are you?
That's true.
I'm Andy's favorite.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's very cute.
But thank you, Elizabeth, for sharing the Dragons on Adventures. That's so adorable. Appreciate it every time I see it.
I love it. Like the adventures they go on is amazing. I haven't got the picture of them all going on an adventure, but we'll
yes, there was a picture of she's got props, and there's the meat dragon has a meat club, which is the way that the adventurer artisan looks going on the adventure in our next game.
So this week I met up with Impy in the morning,
nice.
to give me something, which I can't tell you about.
That was that's a conception because you are Lily in some other.
I know. I held Lily for a photo.
Yeah, you inspired that frog, and then the frog comes back and meets you.
There was also artwork up that said Unity.
Oh wow, really uncanny then.
I could have shared it in this, but I didn't think to check if that was okay. But yes, we played Trinket Trove because MP wanted to play it, and Pokemon Splendor, which is probably one of the best versions of Splendor. Let's be honest, it's very good. It was very nice to hang out.
I just played, one of the things I listed in my list was Point City, which reminds me of Splendor in a way. Because you're building up an engine and getting certain cards, and it really does remind me of that.
I love Point City. Point Salad, I could pass on, to be honest.
You know what's funny is I've had Point City for a long time, and I played it once, and it didn't soak in. I didn't know if I didn't like it. I just was like, okay, that was an experience. Then last night I played it, and I was like, I really like this game.
The flips, like
the whole engine is just fast. I'm like, really, I want to play it again.
And it's fast, like it's so fast.
Is there Point Galaxy now?
Yeah, that's at Essen. So my preparation for Essen, I'm now going through the list of titles, which is 17,000 or something. I don't know, it's loads. And I'm going through them. I'm watching people's videos who are talking about their Essen looking forward to. I don't do videos where I say what I'm looking forward to because one, I want to go buy those things. Why would I tell you? Let's make it harder for me.
After us, and you go, look what I have to share.
Exactly. But also, plenty of people are doing a brilliant job of doing that. I don't need to do it. But yes, so I've been going through and I've been screenshotting things and trying to work out what I want to pick up. And that was on the list. Was I want to go check it out and see how different it is. Because Point City is very different from Point Salad.
It is very different. Yeah. So Point Galaxy should be another difference away. Possibly.
I'm excited about the next theme. Who knows what's going to be?
Yeah.
But yeah. Ray's going to start doing decoy reviews to send the crowd somewhere else. You have to go check out Hello Kitty Monopoly. It's really good.
Right. Tim Chun will be there, right?
Tim Chun. Well, just to be real, he's not going to Essen, is he?
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
I'm really sad about that because he was there last time and I thought you should still be here. What are you doing? But yeah, it's always fun to find out who goes to Essen because it's everyone from all over. It's amazing.
Well, it's hard to get, we could talk about this from, your standpoint because we couldn't get you to Gen Con. It is sometimes harder to make certain trips.
Yeah.
Given where you are. And I know that one of the reasons why we love our online game playing with our community is because then you don't have to necessarily, some people can't go to shows and then you get a still chance to connect to people. And then it also increases the range that you get. So I feel very lucky to be able to go to Essen. It's a great show. For connecting to people and also for seeing the latest and greatest thing. Something that I did once for Essen that I gotta reinstate, which was a lot of fun, is I went there and I bought like everything I could get that was hot that I could actually get my hands on because it's hard to do that sometimes. And then I brought it home and then I hosted a party where everyone could just try the latest games.
That's cool. That's cool.
It did take about 2 to 3 suitcases shipping random boxes, and I was chasing, like I was like literally trying to like get to the front of booths. It was stressful in a different way.
Yeah, we've got swaps to do as well because I've got frogs that you're owed because you beat me at duels.
That's true.
And you're this, and you've got a bag of mine.
I do. Thank you for reminding me because
and I've got like an award for Critic Kitchen from Yuki Games Expo.
Oh yeah, so, we got trades to do.
Got trades.
Also, this is another random thing. Martin Poole, who's a friend of ours, and used to go to Essen and coordinate candy trades, where people would from different countries.
That's still happening, I think. Yeah,
you'd bring like the chocolates and the candies from your country, and then people would swap, and it's kind of a fun.
What would you bring?
There's not. I did think about this for America. There's like like Ghirardelli chocolate or certain things that are like that is a chocolate that's only here, or we don't have a big. And we do have candy that I will say this is a funny story about Mark Dainty. He came over from the UK and said, "What's a candy that we don't have And so we went into a candy store, and then I think he tried some like Nerds. I don't know why. I thought you did. I was like, you have this, but it was
Nerds.
But he was like, this is disgusting.
I would bring, if it were you, I'd bring Lucky Charms, because everyone that I know when I was younger who went to America would come back with a box of Lucky Charms. They were like, have to have this cereal. It looks adorable.
That's funny. I actually also, Stella from Maple University would sometimes bring, is it Tim Tams?
Is that yeah, that's the biscuits that they have.
Yeah, the Australian. Those are fantastic, and I can't get those anywhere.
If anyone is coming from Australia, I would really love some tea from T2.
Are Jolly Ranchers not over there?
You can buy them, but you have to buy them by. I know this because when I made content for a living for a craft channel, we had to do everything American because it was an American audience. So we had to buy American sweets by the bucket load because that was the only way you could buy them. Peach fuzzies, all these different things.
Have you seen?
And we would melt them and make things with them.
Have you seen Jolly Ranchers that are about like this long? Okay, when I was a kid, this is dating me. They had Jolly Ranchers that were this thin strip that went like that long.
Is it like Brighton Rock?
I don't know what that is.
It's like a tube with like a picture in the end. And
this is a flat, like imagine a ruler made out of candy.
I don't want that.
So it was like half a ruler made out of candy in, say, watermelon, or one of the most classic flavors at that time was like a cinnamon.
Oh,
this Jolly Ranchers cinnamon stick that was, somewhat not burning, but it just was like unpleasant. I was like, so I would always buy the watermelon. I'm not going for the cinnamon.
No one wants that. No, that's.
But I remember buying Jolly Ranchers in that form for the longest time in a flat bar.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what I would bring, to be honest. Like, I guess we have like really good chocolate.
That's so 70s.
We have like really good chocolate, I guess, but I do think all of our really good chocolate's probably from Switzerland and Belgium. So, it's not really the same. Bringing Lindt is a bit of a move. I don't know. I don't eat sweets, so I don't know.
If I did get sweets if I go to Essen and pull back some sweets and come back, I land back from Essen right around when Halloween's going to happen, because that's going to be the next stream that we do.
Yeah.
It's worth noting that we have one more stream before Essen. Then we go dark on October 24th. We are not here. Rosie and I are going to be at the show floor. We cannot transmit from there reliably, and then we come back and it's Halloween, and I'll have some candy from Essen. Maybe I'll have another fun thing to do for
Kendall mint cake. What a move. Kendall mint cake is what they eat in the army to keep their sugar levels up. My dad is a contingent commander, and I used to eat that because it was around his office, and it's literally a brick of sugar.
Wow.
Like, I don't want to give that to anyone. But yeah, I'm sure I could figure something out. I think I would bring chocolate coated digestive biscuits.
Oh yeah, those are.
Because all of my American friends were always like, send over the dark chocolate digestive biscuits or hobnobs, dark chocolate hobnobs. We've got good biscuits.
Yeah,
we know how to biscuit.
Seriously.
So yeah, not pink wafers though; they're grim. But yeah, but I'm very excited. Next week we're gonna do our last stream before we go dark for a week or so, and then
we'll have some fun announcements at that one, and by then someone will have possibly received Flamecraft Duels. So
when do you think, what day should we have a little more frog bet?
It is
give me those minis.
It is a Friday, so while I would have predicted maybe today, I'm gonna say the first arrival of Flamecraft Duels is on the 13th, which is Monday. I think someone's gonna have it Monday. Now, I could be wrong.
The 13th of October, Halloween time.
Right? It could be. I don't actually know if Aetherworks is starting yet, so I could be wrong. But like, let's say they have started, then I do think someone will get it.
I think Thursday.
So next week,
in the middle of the night, because it's Australia, probably.
Was that when packages arrive in Sydney?
Well, during the day, I assume. So.
It's going to be the 16th as the first. You know what I'm going to do also? I love doing this in our Facebook group. And possibly in the Discord, I'm going to start one of those chats that says every country can tell me the first time they saw someone get it.
Yeah.
So that we have a list of, I love seeing the countries and in what order people get it. Especially like my favorite part about that is Europe, because we see so many interesting like countries chime in and say like, I got it in Luxembourg. So we'll do that same country thing. I think Australia is going to be on the map on the 13th, and you are putting the 16th.
I am indeed. We shall see.
And Anna is saying that New Zealand could be another 7 to 10 days. So that puts New Zealand at like, could be the 17th to the 20th.
How many people are in the oceanic distribution? Like, is it 1,000, 2,000?
About 1,000 people who are about to get this game immediately. And that's pretty exciting, because October is earlier than we had said on the campaign by 2 months. So
yeah,
yay,
Australians.
yeah,
and Canadians. Yeah, very exciting. Can't wait to see.
We have a prediction for Canada on the 20th.
Now that will mean that maybe we will start to see pictures outside of our reveal videos of what's inside the backpack.
Right.
So you are all warned.
Can't wait to find out what's in the backpack.
Can't wait to find out. I'm so excited. But you're all warned that if you were like waiting and not checking the reveal video, which is totally fine, then you may want to be very careful how you scroll
in our Facebook groups and in our places,
because we can't not allow them. We have to allow people to say it's arrived. So yeah.
We could maybe suggest the word spoiler on the first couple, but after that, it will be an unstoppable force.
An unstoppable force, exactly. That is what they call what's in the backpack.
Duels, I hope, is an unstoppable force. I'm so excited about this game. And
Impy was asking how durable is this lock, and has it been turned 1,000 times? And I don't know if
I haven't turned it 1,000 times yet, but it's
give me a minute. It's very durable. There's no movement. It's very well made.
Yeah,
it's sturdy. It's metal, so, and it doesn't, the ones that I've opened, it doesn't catch or anything. It's very smooth. So yeah, I can't see there being any wear and tear issues with those.
I'm pretty excited about this version of the game. It feels deluxe. It feels pretty fun. It feels compact. It has all of the great gameplay. So this is really proud of this game. Very excited to get it out to everybody who has backed it so far, and then put it out for more people to want to find out how great Flamecraft Duels is.
Yeah. I'm very curious, in the same amount of time from now until whenever it is, the amount of time that Flamecraft's been around for, if there's more printed of Duels. I'm curious.
That is an interesting comment, because out of the gate, it is a very big print run. But I don't know, because Flamecraft has had a good head start. Well, you're saying over
the same period of time. Yeah,
it'll be very interesting to see what happens. Yeah,
I'm gonna find out.
Thanks everybody for going on this experiment with us. And please tell us if we didn't answer your question. You can ask again on YouTube, and we'll try to get another stream. You can ask on Facebook. We have a group for Critter Kitchen and Flamecraft and Andromeda's Edge. Soon we'll have one for Whisperwood. We also have our Discord, where people are already going to start trying Whisperwood and can ask questions about Flamebound or talk about Duels. We'll have a solo channel for Duels. We have Critter Kitchen there. You can play any of the games on TTS. You can chat with people about strategy and get in on other chats on the Discord. So please come join us for games or tell us what you're playing.
Yes, very exciting. All right. Thanks so much, everyone.
See you next week. And until then, game on.